I know,
There we
right?
go.
Okay,
Hi.
awesome. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, got LinkedIn on the second screen. So what happened was I was on my second screen and I did Control R to refresh. There it went. But
Peace.
yeah, so okay, cool. I'm gonna get the Miro board pulled up, and today we're talking about emotional regulation, right?
Sure. Is that what we said last
That thing. Yeah, no, I just pulled the survey and it was the next one in line.
time?
So I don't know. Just kind of poked around on Google
Yeah.
Notebook LM and asked and dug up some questions we could think through as a group. And
Yeah.
yeah, let's see here. Okay. I don't know if LinkedIn's working, but it's not the end of the world. So oh, it is. There we are. Cool. All right. Now, if anybody asks questions on LinkedIn, we'll see you too. I'm gonna share my screen. There we go. Entire screen.
Hey, we have it together mostly today.
Yeah, look at
Look at that.
us. Okay. Now we're gonna come into today's and we're gonna say begin. And then if anybody wants to join, it'll show this code at the top of the banner as well. But yeah, let me change the layout so we can get a little bit bigger. There we go. There's probably a way to save these like this, but I haven't taken the time yet. Okay, cool. So emotional. Oh, I'm in the way. Ugh. Ugh.
Out of the way.
The system's like, we already foresaw that. That's why we did it this way.
It's funny.
Yeah, just this idea of how do we shift regulation, overwhelm, connection. I think the irony of this is I've been really busy this week. I don't know about you. So emotional regulation's definitely been kicking in.
So, interestingly enough, this has been like I've been working on this like hardcore for the past month and like to the point that I have been doing somatic therapy, which has
Hmm.
been really cool, really interesting because I was at the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm doing everything I can to regulate myself. Like, why doesn't my body feel regulated? Because, like, when things happened, my physical response was still going into crisis mode. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm really, really done feeling like this. Like, how do I not feel like this?
Hmm.
And so my past like month has been like making myself pay attention and be present to um, like my body triggers and be like, okay, how do I work through that? And
Hmm.
um, it's been very interesting, but I'm actually making progress.
That's great. Are there like signals that are telling you that progress is being made? Like little
Yeah.
signs?
So um, some of it is just like when I go into shortness of breath.
Hmm.
Um, I'm able to get a deep breath faster and um, that and I'm able to just recognize faster when I'm in that to be able to say, "Okay, Lauren, you're not currently being, like, attacked by a whole herd of lions, like, you'll be okay." And
Hmm.
being able to understand, like, what is going on with my current surroundings to be like, "Oh, like, this is what's triggering my body from just, like, my past
Hmm.
life," and teaching it um, a new like regulation system. And it is kind of like reconditioning my body to be like, no, you're not going to die.
Hmm.
I mean, probably don't go right now, jump out of a plane again. But right now, in my office or whatever, like you're probably not gonna just like keel over and die, right?
Hmm.
So
That makes sense.
it, it's been it's been very good for getting less like overwhelmed by the end of the day. So that's exciting.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. For me personally, it sounds silly, but I'm like food is an emotional regulator for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not horrible about sugar, but I love a good fountain drink and
Ooh.
I get them a lot. So I'm going to try and be more intentional about what I eat. And I'm not completely cutting things out, but I'm giving myself like the space I need to like burn that extra caloric, deficit basically, and then still occasionally have that. So I don't know. I guess what I'm thinking through is this lens of like boundaries that we set, whether they're neutral or positive or whatever. So
Well, so the other piece that on here that it talks about is overwhelm.
mm-hmm.
And I know we've both been like working on that hardcore for like a long time, months, in fact. Um,
mm-hmm.
and so that is something that like along with the physical pieces of regulation, um, I have been on like how the heck do I even start to declutter my brain because
Mm-hmm.
with all of the things that I have going on, and I mean that's work, family, personal interests, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
things that are happening in like the next year, planning trips, etc. Um, I have been working on um, really focusing on like what's next. And
Mm-hmm.
at one point when I was leading a small group at church, I had she was a therapist in my group, and I was just like having a day. And she goes, one of the things that I practice with my patients a lot is the next right thing, just one, the next right thing. And um, I do that with myself, and I do that honestly with coaching clients as well. Is
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, our our nervous systems have a habit of wanting to do all the things and chase all the rabbits at the same time, leading to that damn overwhelm. And so, really focusing on like, okay, do I need to do this thing right now, or can I do this in like 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I need to focus on right this second, or maybe the next hour to get it off my plate and out of my brain so I can quit freaking thinking about it?
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing?
Oh, that's great. I was just reflecting. I wrote how to declutter your brain. Number one, what's now? Like we were talking about,
Mhm.
bring present. Number two, what's next? What's in the immediate frame? Which, like, my brain loves thinking a year, 5 years, 10
Mhm.
years, a decade, a century out. And I've got to like pull it back to like, no, like, what's in the immediate next frame
Wait,
might
so you're
just be the
telling
next.
me Matt's superhuman and gonna be alive in a century?
I hope I'm not a brain in the jar. That would suck. So what's now, what's next, and what's needed? And when we think about what's needed, that's like through the lens of triage. Like, how do
Oh,
we
yeah.
triage our tasks based on our energy, based on our, I mean, like, number of different things.
Mhm.
So,
So how do you do that, Matt?
how I do it is I slow down these days, which sounds backwards, but I think slowing down, doing pen and ink versus all these great new technology are fantastic, but without
Yes.
without doing the self work and you know doing the reflection, those tools don't do shit. So,
No,
um,
that's on point because and like I've considered myself like I highly enjoy the technology, and you're much more savvy than I am with all of your things. But honestly, for me, getting the tech like systemized and set up was
mhm,
kind of a thing. But once I had the pen and paper piece, the like task management, AI, or technology piece along with the um, almost like accessibility as it applies to how I need it,
Mm-hmm.
like that's kind of when the triage piece really kind of came into um, like a good flow.
Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of fits into this second slide, which
Yep.
is like an affirming way versus like square peg, square peg
Yeah.
round hole kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but no, that makes a lot of sense. I think I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, but since we're streaming, but like I've been recently applying to some full-time work, and
Mhm.
I think it's interesting to get asked questions relating to things like this. Some of these positions are leadership, and um, it's really interesting to think through a universal lens of like how are each of us showing up in the world? What do we need to show up our best?
Yeah.
And then like what's a must? Because like it's great that you want to do XYZ this way, but hey, we're trying to make ABC accessible and we've
Yeah.
got to find a happy middle ground. So I think a lot of people don't want to do that last part. They just want it to be their world, their way.
For sure.
And that also ties into this old way thinking that
Mhm.
I see with, certain industries or certain age groups or certain people that are brought up certain ways. So,
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so one thing that I've learned, and I was talking about this with some coaching people last night actually, is
mm-hmm,
a lot of times, especially um, neurodivergence, is that when we don't realize that we are like trying to mirror how the neurotypical world works,
mm-hmm,
we don't understand why we're expending so damn much energy trying to do it that way when we figure that out, like light bulbs, I feel like start going off like, oh, like this is why it's so freaking hard for me to do the things that should be easy, like uh,
mm-hmm,
making a doctor appointment, or if you're my case, meal planning and shopping
mm-hmm,
will be the death of me, I think. But those tiny things, I'm like, why is it so hard? And everybody's like, I don't know why you have such a hard time with it. I'm like, well, because it has a lot of research. Or
mm-hmm,
currently trip planning. I can say I want to go to these few places, but when you say look for flights, when do we want to do this? Book the hotels, what activities do we want to do?
mm-hmm,
That triggers fight, freeze, whatever you want to call it. And it's
mm-hmm.
just like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do all the research.
Yeah. So question, if you could do it in a way that was human to human, but still use the latest tools and got you from A to B for how you think learn communicate, would that solve a gap? Or I mean it's not going to solve all the problems, but my thinking is this, like for example, like I could probably whip something up for you in like an hour. And through asking questions, I would learn like what is it about those things that makes it difficult,
Mhm.
right? So I don't necessarily follow and like him these days, but it reminds me of Alex Hormozzi's $100 million leads. And the idea is like one of them was a shopping list for people that wanted to eat healthier, for example. And he was like, okay, unpack everything about shopping that makes it difficult. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, great. I'm going to give you a solution for each of those difficult things so you can feel empowered to do that thing, basically.
Yes.
But you got to then match how the person communicates. And
Yes.
that's the tricky layer is like, not everybody uses a checklist, not everybody uses AI. Some
No.
people use pen and ink, and some people use a mix. So,
Well, and see, the great thing is like, so we all know that I love a good written list as you do, the pen and paper. But so I use a mixture, a, a very big mixture. My family is big on um, Alexa, and we have
mm-hmm,
like my my husband has like my entire household set up on um, like smart switches and voice activation, everything. And so now he and I have a shared grocery list to where we can get on the Alexa app and add what we need. And then it transfers to, we have a um, show, Alexa Show, I think it's called, in our kitchen to where it has the grocery list widget. It has a whole bunch of different other stuff, but it will all show on that.
Are
And
you on
then,
their primo plan? Because my family said they're starting to get pestered. Like they couldn't listen to background rain noise for
uh,
more than so long, and they were like, "Sign up for a premium plan today." It's like, what?
uh,
We've
I
never had that. We've just used it all night or whatever. So
I don't know about that, but
no worries.
between that and then I do use chat the free chat GPT to say, okay, I need a 2 week meal
Yeah,
plan with these dietary needs. Make some of
yeah.
them crock pot, make some of them this. Um, I want it kid friendly, and I want um, leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will shoot all of that out, give me the recipes, give me the shopping list, and that alone is such a drastic help because it's like, "Here you go," and then I could be like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound right," or,
Sure.
"This doesn't sound good, like, take this out and sub it for something else." And
Is that
just
the cognition layer? I ask because I haven't
yeah.
used ChatGPT in quite a while. And then I don't know if you distantly follow headlines or not for
Mhm.
this kind of topic, but they unfortunately like bent the knee for current US government for the war stuff. So now they're giving the government like a fully unrestricted AI for autonomous killing and what do you call it? Hang tight. It's like micro, like very deep surveillance, basically. So here's why I bring it up. So the interesting part's this: if you go to the App Store in Apple, you'll notice that Anthropic's Claude is literally the top slot. And the interesting part is a lot of people didn't know what Claude was before this past week
Yeah.
when the government was basically like, you're fired in a way, and we're not giving you any more government contracts. And they're a private company that didn't want to given and bend the knee for like autonomous killing machines. So, uh, so point being this, I was just curious if you leaned into ChatGPT specifically because of it's just like the way to get it out of your head onto paper quickly, or because you really like how it specifically approaches it versus other tools. Like if I could show you how to do it Copilot or Anthropic, would that matter? Or
No, it is solely the action of getting it out of my head and
yeah, me too.
yeah.
And that's why I was curious because so
Yeah.
it's like 90% of the people. So like I'm gonna train a team soon who is like everyday people, aren't techies, don't really use AI and like see those kind of headlines and think, oh God, I don't want to, which is like, yeah.
Mhm.
But what does it mean to just get ideas out of your head in a safe, secure way that isn't like burning the earth in the process? Because I mean, we're, carbon footprint doing Facebook or anything else right now.
Yeah.
But I think people are really quick to point to new technology or new methods.
Mhm.
And while it's valid, it can have, like we got to keep some guardrails up for realistic. So
Yep.
it's like, anyway, um, no, part of why I was curious about that was because I don't know. It kind of makes this closed loop. I don't know if you experienced that either. Like where you had these ideas, you hit a sticking point, you did the brain dump, and you got the ideas out onto paper, and then it kind of like organizes them a little bit. Then what do you do next at that point, or do you kind of have everything you need?
Um, at that point, honestly, I wish I could just be like, add to my add to my shopping list, but um, I I want the control over like the specific product that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to like put in my cart because I'm all about the curbside pickup stuff these days.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could if I could like pre-program to be like, if I say this on the list, I want this specific item, that would be beautiful. But right now, um, even if it could do that, I have not figured that out. And so
Yeah.
that's as far as I take it. But I have all, like I will take, actually, scratch that. I will say, okay, um, create a downloadable PDF of all of the recipes so that I can download it and then um, print it out and try it because I'm not going to have my computer in the kitchen, doing all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
um, so then I can do that. Um, but that, for the most part, is kind of my loop. But it takes the part that really overwhelms me and stresses me
Mm-hmm.
out of the equation for the most part. Doing that consistently is a different story because I still have the kind of trigger of I don't want to meal plan. It's already time to meal plan again. Gosh dang it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That was what I was poking around with this. I don't
yeah,
know if my screen's showing, but
it is.
looks like it is. So I was like, I really want fountain soda, and I was like, just give me 2 layers. So it's like if you're craving something, like I really want fountain soda. Okay, what about that fountain soda do you want? Do you want the caffeine or do you want the carbonation, the coldness, the
Mhm.
sweetness? It's like, oh, I just need caffeine. Okay, why don't you try a cold brew with this instead? Here's where you go or how to make it or what the steps are that you need to do the thing.
That's cool.
So I don't know. Like I get where you're going. I figured I'd just share that for a second
Yeah.
because it was like a brain mode I was in, and I was like, oh, there's got to be a way to, I don't know, close gaps on some of this stuff that we get stuck on, and not
Yeah.
necessarily have to do it only the old way or only the new way. But
Well, and honestly, I probably won't ever let go of the old way because um I do like go back and refer to my little notebook of what did we talk about at this point and if I need to look something up. And honestly, it's just a good, scientifically proven, may I add, um, it is a good way to get things out of your brain to help your brain process it so you can
mm-hmm.
help mitigate that overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
But I have I need to actually go and I don't know, almost take pictures of these and then um, transfer them to computer to make files so that I can.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Well, because otherwise I do the ADHD hoarding thing where I'm like, I can never get rid of this notebook that I am 90% sure I will never look at again because I don't remember what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I'm like, I need something searchable to be like, let me upload this and then be able to like search all of my miscellaneous chicken scratch documents to be like, where did I write notes about this random thing a year ago? If
Yeah, that
you have a
makes perfect
magic wand
sense.
for that, Matt, please let me know and set it up for me.
Partially, I have a
Ooh,
friend that did that paper replacement remarkable. They got the newer
ooh.
one and they swear by it. They said it was the craziest $600 purchase they made, but that they do so much writing and legal that it's been worth its weight in gold. So,
So, my husband has that for work, and
mm-hmm,
I actually have a Kindle Scribe that does
mm-hmm.
most of that, and I really do love that.
Is it as responsive and all that jazz? I mean, I know he was saying like there were little things about that one versus other brands that did it better, I guess, but I don't know.
Um,
I've never used
I
one,
I
so.
don't know about it. It would kind of depend on the features that you're looking for. It does
Mm-hmm.
everything I need it to do, as well as then hold my ebooks, but, it did I wish that it would be I wish it had a color, which it might be getting there if it doesn't already because I
I
love
think
color and
Amazon has a
highlighting.
color one now, a color e-ink thing. It might be color e-ink book. I don't know if they have a color e-ink notepad yet, but
I don't know. I'm kind of at the spot where I'm like, "Well, mine works, and I don't really wanna have to pay for a
yeah.
new one," but,
It'd be great is like the remarkable type thing,
Mhm.
but with a detachable lapel clip that you could have voice dictation, and
Yeah.
then a small, good enough camera that could do OCR, optical character recognition. So like you could then import pages or whatever. That'd be awesome. You wouldn't have to have any other features, but just those two functionalities could add a lot to it. So.
So why don't you go ahead and pitch that to whoever you need to and get it going? But no, it uh for all intents and purposes, the scribe does exactly what I need it to. It works beautifully. I've got, folders of all sorts of things, and it's
Hmm.
got a lot of different features. And I have one that has quite a bit of memory, so I don't have any issues. But yes, that is a phenomenal thing. Um,
Yeah, that's me too, because I have notebooks everywhere, but
yeah,
it's like, what does it mean to transition and translate it into its final form?
yeah.
Because a lot of times that can just mean sitting on a shelf. So,
Well, and the cool thing with that is like if I make a list or something, like I have emailed that to somebody and be like, here you go. And like if I paid for a plan, then I could send a lot more. I don't need to though. So
hmm.
yeah, but that is a phenomenal tool and um, in my opinion, user friendly, holds battery life for a long time. But that's exactly why I got it because I was like, okay, um, I use a lot of chicken scratches for notes and everything else, or like notes from calls, grocery lists that I used to do, coaching calls, all that kind of stuff. And then it's all in one place. It's just a matter of my own brain organization being like, okay, now which folder did I put that in?
Hmm. Yep, that's honestly a big part of why I've enjoyed sorry, I was right. Why I've enjoyed Microsoft 365. Hey, I'm pretty good
Oh
for
yeah.
writing a different word and talking at the same
I
time.
was gonna say good
Um,
for you.
Microsoft 365 chat, it taps into
Yeah.
your local documents like many other programs do these days. But I couldn't advise strongly enough to not just install OpenClaw and some of these other backdoor systems where you basically give unadulterated access to your whole machine and internet sometimes. But point being, Copilot 365 chat for business, it'll pull like 100 documents from the back end and it'll be like, here's the data. So the crazy part is it's so ground source that you can ask questions and then it just gives you what your brand or business needs. So it's like, okay, I had this query. How do I reply to this email? Well, based on these 100 documents and how you've written about it or thought about it or replied about it before, here's how we'd recommend you reply or whatever. So,
Well, and so I gotta point out now that you say that because that is a huge like overwhelmed thing out of like now I don't have to sift through all this crap or like even electronic things like open and I go, it's not there. And
or the
like
good
my
old read receipt. I know you opened it. Oh God, I've now opened it.
uh, but my thought is so many people would be like, oh well, how much does that cost? And I agree. However,
Mm,
I would say how much would you pay to not have to replace the time in which you search through all that stuff and
hmm.
be able to, utilize said tool and all of a sudden be like, "Oh,
What's
well,
the
here."
cognitive cost of mental metal
Exactly,
detecting, essentially?
exactly, and I don't like yes, some of these things cost, but on the other hand, like, exactly what is the cognitive and energy cost of like what would the differentiator be if you paid for this and got that? And
Hmm. And time,
like,
like I can go make a cup of coffee, like dot
yeah,
matrix printer. It's kind of funny. We're on the other side of the bell curve for,
yeah,
used to, it's going to take forever to print. I'll go make a cup of coffee. And now it's, oh, this agentic coding thing is building what I need.
yeah.
I'll go make a cup of coffee.
No,
So,
for sure. And FYI, no, we are well, not that I know of, we are not affiliates of any of that stuff. It is just purely
no.
through
But quick
experience.
check in. We are one past the hour. I'm
Yep.
fine as long as you're okay. I just wanted to check
Um,
in. So.
I gotta be about 5 minutes and then I
Yeah,
gotta
I
head
want to show you
south.
my bell curve when you're done sharing your current thoughts.
No, you're good, I'm done.
Oh, cool. So I drew a bell curve. Let's see if it's going to show it. I got to do the
Fuzzy. Oh, there.
YouTube
Oh, there we
makeup
go.
Instagram thing. There we go. Is it the right direction?
No.
Dang it. Hang on. Hang on. We'll fix it. Here we go. Flippity. Flippity. What? It's locked. Ah, come on. Unlock. Rotate. Transform. And. Okay, there we go. So
Yes.
we got a
Wait,
bell
oh,
curve.
there we go. Right there.
And then the beginning of the curve, we have
Take it back.
brain
Take it
dump.
back.
That's like pen
Okay, yeah.
and paper, raw voice
Yeah.
notes. And then in the middle of the curve, we get the pattern parsing. So this is when we use our AI of choice, whatever it happens to be.
Okay.
And then we ingest, digest, parse, make a spider web. That's what a
Yeah.
knowledge graph is. And then you make your templates and stuff. I do a
Okay.
lot of that with Notebook LM. That's my go-to. And then from there, you optimize and refine. A lot of times I'll be writing on paper again for the optimize and refine, or I'll be
Yeah.
printing it physically and
Yeah.
holding the materials or doing mock-ups and or maybe staging sites. Like, here's what it could look like when it's fully done. And that's kind of, I didn't really have this before, but I kind of just workshopped that today. So
Um,
you need to do a video on that, to be
well,
honest.
I was gonna say, can you, like, for real, take a quick little picture of that and put
Oh,
it
for sure.
in comments and such?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had other friends literally ask about Notebook LM specifically and just how I parse meeting notes, much less brain dumps. So I just need to get that out there. Getting through the recent career stuff recently has been the focus. But now that I'm over that, I'm like, oh, cool. I really want to share some of this because it could be super helpful. So
Okay, so what's Notebook LM?
there's the video. No. um, so Google Notebook LM, the one liner is it's a closed sandbox to parse the patterns of your data. So you basically dump in a bunch of files, up to 300 files. They can be PDFs, Word documents, whatever, audio recordings. Here's the cool part: you can ingest too. So like you can give it a huge list of links from YouTube and tell it like, I want to learn this topic, or I want to apply these concepts to my business, or and it parses all of it. So it's all about the question you ask and what you ask it to build. And most people are just clicking the ready-made buttons that don't really give you anything. So
Is that part of Google Workspace or is that like a
it's free, but
oh,
it does have eventual limits, like because you can generate like slideshows and all this other stuff. But like I'm on the $20 a month thing,
okay.
and it eventually is like, hey, you gotta quit hitting go on the presentations. I'm like, come on, one more white paper. So no.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think I'll do that this week. I'll just focus on Notebook LM because that's really been the biggest game changer. Even if I did a video on the Microsoft one, people aren't ready to drop $50 a month on the
No.
the suite and then another 40 a month on Copilot. So it's like versus like, hey, you can use this Google thing. So
Yeah.
that, and I have Notion AI, which just rolled over for me. So my Notion is so messy. I don't know if you've ever used Notion. It's like
No.
Wikipedia.
Oh.
So it's really cool, but if you don't organize it from the start, it's a pain in the butt. So a
Oh.
lot of people love Notion, and it's actually huge in the like organizing and ADHD community. So,
Well, now
um,
I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole later and learn all the things about that.
but yeah, I'll definitely upload this on. Like honestly, I know I'm jumping the gun, but um, I don't know. It would feel really nice to have this all in one definitive spot. So maybe I'll look into the school thing as like burnout.community or whatever and tie in the tech as part of burnout prevention and recovery because it's what
Yeah.
I'm pitching to these companies. They want me to come in and train, and I'm like, it's about neurodiversity, it's about disability and chronic conditions, but it's
Yeah.
really about burnout. That's the universal language. Like
Yeah.
everybody deals with burnout, and then how you communicate and move through the world kind of adjusts that radar. So
Speaking of that, is that what we're doing next week?
oh, good question. I'll check real quick.
Before I forget to do that.
That's always fun. I want to keep us on the edge of our seat. That's the
I know,
fun
right?
part. Okay, here it is. Starting tasks and then
Cool.
finishing tasks is after that. So,
Who
um,
wants to teach me and Matt about that?
like the thumbnail and announcement more than a day ahead of time next time, so I don't piss all of my newsletter subscribers off and all that jazz. But hey, it's whatever.
Real life,
They know where the
people.
door is if they don't like it.
There you go.
And that's 2026 Matt. So I don't know. People
Um,
pleaser Matt's dead. I'm trying to remember what was it. They said I don't remember if it was Taylor Swift or who. It was like the old so and so is dead, and like that was in their song. I think
oh
it was
yeah,
her.
I think that's right.
Anyway.
Um, all right. Well, on that note, join us next week for this. We're getting our stuff together slowly. We had it more together today. Um,
I think you were we knew each other a year ago. Now, a while ago, I told my friend in Romania, Ioana, I was like, we need to literally have a workshop called the Get Your Shit Together workshop.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
great.
that's funny. Um,
Cool.
okay, so next week we are back at 11:30 Central, um, and same time, same
We can
place.
combine them to starting and finishing tasks. I mean, we don't have to,
Yeah,
it's up to
sure.
you. So, and we can hop over to the word clouds for this one next time too. So,
Perfect.
yeah, cool.
All right. Well, thanks,
Bye, all zero
everybody.
people.
We've
I
had
got a
actually
joke about it because when we have thousands of people someday, then we'll be like, oh, it was the good old days.
here's how far we come. In all fairness, we have had that number like flicker. So
I think we'd have a stronger number if it were off work hours, to be honest. But I think that in lies the challenge because life happens off work hours. So,
yeah. Well, and my schedule will open up here shortly within the next couple weeks after I'm finished with my certification. So
the irony is mine might close down if I get a job offer. So I'd still be around. I'm not hanging my hat up, but it'd be alternate hours and it'd be
yeah,
different stuff. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that is to be determined, but for now,
we'll see.
we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.